Google Assistant might be doomed. What? Get out of here. Now, this sounds like April Fool's. Division reorganizes to focus on Bard. Oh, Assistant becomes Bard?
Yeah.
Google Assistant makes no money and hasn't released hardware in 2 years. Well, when we were talking about Amazon the other day, and it was like, yeah, the Alexa isn't making any cash either. I get it. I don't know how you monetize these things, but at least in Google's case, you feel like you were training something and they were somehow...
Because you're getting inputs, and those inputs can potentially be very valuable in the future.
But anyway, maybe they're thinking now that they've seen what happened with OpenAI and Microsoft, it's like, oh, we should take this whole team and sort of figure out a different way to work or rebranding or make a sort of pivot of sorts.
Yeah.
Google Assistant saw 8 major speaker/smart display hardware releases in 5 years from 2016 to 2021, but the hardware releases seem to have stopped. The last hardware release was March of 2021, which is a full 2 years ago. 2022 saw Google remove Assistant support from 2 in-house product lines, Nest Wi-Fi and Fitbit wearables. And 2022 also saw a report from the information that said Google wanted to invest less in developing its Google Assistant voice-assisted search for cars and for devices not made by Google. Google Assistant's Drive mode was shut down in 2022. Google Assistant's Duplex on the Web feature was shut down in 2022. One of Google's Assistant Core's unique features, Reminders, is being shut down in favor of Google Task Reminders soon. And Google Assistant has never made any money. I don't know about you, but doesn't that sound like it might? Wow. And Amazon Alexa is in the same boat. It loses $10 billion a year. I mean, this stuff is extremely expensive to develop and maintain. And yet you can't really figure out the monetization strategy here. Like, is it really that much of an enhancement to people? And we always talk about Apple, too, how we're like, why is their voice assistant so crap? When are we going to go to voice? When is stuff going to be better? And then ChatGPT marches in there, OpenAI marches in there, and they're like,
Yeah.
You see people who replace Siri with it, and all of a sudden their responses are so much more comprehensive.
So much more full.
And you start to think to yourself, whoa, yeah, do that. Why haven't you done that, Apple? Why aren't you doing that, Google? And maybe that's sort of what we're seeing here, is they're saying this stuff is so innovative, we're working at this the wrong way, and we're spending so much money anyway, let's just move these people to go look at this thing over here.
Yeah. I feel like them branding Bard instead of like just having Assistant, I think that might be a mistake. Just having like a completely different naming convention as a chatbot, where I feel like Assistant is just the assistant, and whatever improvements of the chatbot could be embedded into the name brand Assistant.
You're talking about conventions.
Yeah, you don't want to be saying, hey, Bard.
Talking about naming conventions.
That's not cool. Assistant is actually like the term, right?
In the future, the AI stuff, it's all assisting us. That's the idea. At least that's the sales pitch. It's assisting you.
I'm just hung up on the name, really.
Well, I usually get hung up on names too.
Yeah.
I'm not, the Bard thing hasn't grown on me at all.
Or even ChatGPT.
And I sort of have somewhat positive feelings about Assistant, so I agree with you. But it is interesting that they kept thinking, well, we'll just sell hardware, dedicated hardware. And it was like, no, I'm not going to use it like that. Like, I just want to see it integrated more, and I want to see the responses more rich and detailed, and people will start using it, but it just hasn't seemed to take off. And it is interesting to see, like, maybe this AI thing will change that.